Hey everyone, this is Zoraz, not Casuals. In today's video, I'm going to go over this fighter, Scott, which I think is one of the most important fighter that you should focus on in the early game, especially for new players and free to play. So in Age of Apes, one of the biggest priority in order to strengthen your account is basically doing White Mutants. There's many variation. There's from these giant ones to these bruisers, which are medium ones, and then there's the small guys, which are the White Mutants. As you can see, the reward, if you look at the XP with the tomes here, the CDs, so 10.4 thousand. This is 4 times 50. This guy 1 time 50, 5,000. And if you look at the smaller guys, now we're at like 2.9 thousand and 50 CDs. So obviously, these ones are the easiest one. These ones are a bit harder, but also they require more action points. And same as these ones, if you look here and you say rally, for example, you will see the AP cost, which is your action point, which is what is needed to do any of these. For me in this situation is 141. And for this guy, it is 71. And now for these guys, it would be 41. So as you can see, the reward are kind of corresponding with your action point. Now, if you want to see your action point, just click on your head here, and this is where they are, action point. So you have a maximum of 1,000, it regenerates over time, and you can also use potions, which you get from the game in general. Now, this is how many I have stacked up already, so you can get quite a lot of it. And as you saw on the reward page, this is how you would get some speed ups, experience, you get a lot of resources, as well as some of the CDs, so you get kind of a bit of everything. And every day you have to use your AP. Now, I want to focus on one thing today and one thing only. It is the fighters who excel at mutants. So in this example, Scott is the one who has Hunt. If you click on it here, it tells you that this fighter excels at fighting mutants. Now, I went over this a little bit in my previous video, but I want to focus specifically on the talents and the skills and what makes this fighter the best focus for your early game. So at the beginning of the game, when you go through the fighter page, you will see that there is 2 of the blue rarity, and then there's quite a few of the purple rarity. And if you go down, there's 5 of the yellow rarity. Now, of course, if you want the yellow rarity, you need to play for a longer time as well as invest some money in the game. And that is how you will unlock most of them. Specifically this one, which is called Oscar. Now, he is the one that you can buy. You can max him out fully by spending money. So he is very good. And he is also, as you can see, a hunter. Now, the only other hunter in the entire game is TNY or TNY. I'm not too exactly sure how to say that name. As well as the hunt ability. Now, if you go over everybody else and you look up here, the yellow skill, none of them have hunt. None of them. So if you're not someone who's going to spend a lot of money in the game, these 2 will be something that you will be able to acquire quite later into the game. Actually, you won't be able to acquire Oscar at all if you don't spend money. And this one is based completely on luck when you open the arena tickets. So that is why I'm focusing on this one, because this one is not only a blue rarity, so a lot cheaper and easier to level up, but as well as you get him right away in the beginning. You'll open a few tickets from the game content generally, and you'll have it within the first day or 2. And he has the hunt ability, which is absolutely crucial in order to advance your account further from the early game. Now, the reason I say that is, first of all, for his skills. Now, if you look at his skills in general, this one is basically just doing a big 600 damage when the rage reaches 1,000. Now, the next skill is increasing the attack and hitting a marching speed of hitters, which is the melee type of unit in this game. There's 4 types, so hitters is one of the types. When you can train your units in the barrack, you will see it. Now, this ability does the same thing except different stats. So he increases hitters' strength in general, which is very good. Now, this one here, Nemesis. This is the one priority for this fighter because of this. First of all, you do more damage to White Mutants, so you can fight stronger mutants as well as get better rewards, but you also gain an experience increase, which applies to not only this fighter, but once you reach level 20, you will be able to bring a second fighter with you. Now, I'll show this in an example right now. If I were to attack, create unit, see, here is a spot for a second. It's called a deputy in this guy. Now, if I have a level 15, you don't have a choice. You just go with one level 15. Once you're level 20, for example, this one's 24, this one's 40. So you can add a second guy. Now, this will make it so that both of them get an experience bonus, which obviously is great for both of them to level up, as well as will give a lot of bonuses so that you can fight all these mutants much easier and much more efficiently. So when you upgrade your skills, you can choose which skill to upgrade. Now, obviously, I've maxed this one already, but for example, if you want to upgrade this skill, you just upgrade it. You don't have to upgrade anything else. So as for, like, I would suggest you upgrade this and this, with this one being the priority, number one, and then this one. Because at the beginning, you won't have a full army of hitters right away, so having just boosts or hitters is not the priority. You really want to focus on this that will make it so you fight stronger and that you have more experience. So that is why he is so good, first of all. Now, just as a quick look, you can see that these guys here also have this. So this goes to 30%. And this one has the same ability here, which is right here, the Monster Buster. So same thing, increased damage and experience. This one goes up to 50%. So obviously, these guys are much better at that skill. But since not everybody has them, including myself, I cannot use it yet. So when you can and when you have it unlocked, I would still focus on this ability to level up first, especially in the early game. But as of now, Scott is the only one that you can have for free right away that has this ability. So if you start from the first day of your gameplay, getting this 15% increase bonus and like all these abilities that will come into hand that I will show you next, you will see that the value over time will have been massive and very worth it. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is the talents. So as you can see here, these are the talent trees. Now there's 3 of them. Every single champion in this game has 3 different choices. So it kind of tells you if you look at it. So basically this one leads an army of hitter and boosts the hitters only, which obviously makes it that you want to send only hitters when you're using this army. So for example, if I select this unit here and I attack, of course it's going to select him first because it's my stronger unit. You can clear and just see like hitters. Now I would do hitters here as well. As you can see, I only have 39,000 out of 80,000. So I can bring 80,000 units, but only half of them are hitters. That makes me kind of like weaker, so like I don't want to have a half full army. But if I start bringing other units, now they don't get the bonus, which is why I don't recommend focusing on that stuff right away. I would more focus on the hunting side of things, and eventually you can go into the hitter talent, which is why I recommend using the skill hunt, of course, which is about mutants, because this is what you're going to be using him for. So when we go into talents here, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So this is the hitter tree, and if you look at it, if you click on stuff, it will tell you, see, hitters take less damage, and this one, if you only have hitters, increase their attack and health. You know, it's about hitters. Now, this is not about hitters, and I don't find this tree, that talent, super good, because your troops are not below 50%, like, often, and when they are, they're kind of, like, weakened because there's less units, so it's kind of like a lose-lose for me. But of course, when you do get it, it will be worth it eventually, but that is only for the later game. The focus really should be on this. This is about mutants. Priority number 1 is this. So reduce the stamina, like the action point that we were speaking about earlier, by 9 when attacking mutants. So a general mutant is 50, and the bigger guys are 80, and then the rallyable, like giant guys, are 150. So every one of these action is -9 when he is the commander or the hero or fighter leading the attack. Now, if you're gonna kill hundreds of like white mutants over the course of the next like 5 months of you playing this game, that's gonna be thousands worth of AP, which is in itself so much value if you were gonna just use that AP to keep killing all these white mutants, right? So this is the one talent that you want to get right away. Now, as well here, plus 6% damage, it's really at the beginning, it's amazing, and you need it to progress. This one here is 15% experience gained after defeating mutant. Now, this and the other skill that we're talking about earlier should work together and increase maybe by 30% all experience gain. So this is also, I would say, number 1, number 2 priority. As you reach level 20, you'll be able to get all of this anyways. So you want to like boost him to level 20 as soon as possible by killing as many mutants as possible from the get-go and get these abilities. And as well, this one, Active skill damage, as you saw, his marine ability is a skill that does 600 damage. So this basically means that he'll do 15% more damage when that ability hits a White Mutant. So these are all very, very important, as well as, these little talents just give a little bit of extra troop stuff. So they're all very good. They're needed to go next, to the next line anyways. If you go here, improve troop healing. Now that doesn't really affect him. It's not very useful, but you'll see here that he takes less damage when fighting mutants, as well as, again, more damage fighting mutants. And when you get here, you will basically heal wounded soldiers after defeating White Mutants, which means that you will be able to stay in the open field longer. Now, when you've maxed out a tree, you will see that this main ability will unlock. Now, if I go here, for example, you see it's grayed out. You need to put 45 talents for it to unlock. Now, I'm at 49 talents, so this one has unlocked and has reached level 3 out of 5 of this ability. Now, I'm not exactly sure how to make it max out at 5, but my guess is that as my character levels up maybe to level 50 or 60, he will eventually have fully maxed out the ability here. And now this ability does that when you're attacking mutants outside of your city and you don't come back to the city, you can increase your damage every time you kill one, up to 50%. So you can go around and chain them one by one without ever coming back to your city, which the best way to do so will be when you are attacking one. If you click here, keep position after fight, that means that he will defeat, and afterwards he will stay in the open field. So I'll do an example here. If I attack, you'll see he'll defeat him, and when we come back later, he will still be out there just waiting for my next command. So he will not have gone back to the city, and then you can hit this one and this one, and you can keep hitting them. Now this will be useful probably later on in the game, but it is a great bonus to have, as you can see here. There it is. So once you've reached my level, like it's level 40, I would recommend that your second tree is this one. Now, why I said earlier, hitters, you won't have a full army of hitter for a while, so this would be kind of wasted. Now, the skill basically increases the damage of your skill. As you saw, his number one ability, which is the rage generated ability, when he hits a monster for a while, he will activate the skill, which does, as we saw, up to 600 damage. Now, that's not insane, but it's his main ability, so that is very good. This will basically boost that. Now, not only will it boost that, but you see here, when you attack, you will recover more rage, as well as this one, activate skill damage plus 3%, and this one, you have a chance to recover rage after doing a skill. It goes into, as well as this one, you get more active skill damage after doing it. You can restore 20 rage. This tree is excellent, because not only does it apply to him, the main guy. For example, let's say I bring this guy as my secondary hero in this fight. So if he has skill boosting talents, and this guy, as you see here, his ability is also skill damage up to 1000 in an area damage. Of course, that will be amazing, because all of his abilities here would be boosted by skill damage talents from this guy. So obviously the main ability would be this one. Now, if with this skill tree, I have a percentage boost, as you saw earlier, 15% more damage after doing a skill, all that kind of stuff. Well, it'll affect both of them. Now, just as a basic explanation, when you reach every 10 levels, so you will unlock a new star. So at level, you start with 1, and at level 40, you have 5 star. At level 50, you'll be able to get 6 star. So when you get the 5th star and the 6th star, it basically gives you extra talent points for you to do. So this one was 5 talent points. Now this one I'm not too sure. I think it should be maybe 10 or 12, not exactly sure. But obviously these first 4 star unlock these first 4 skills, and then the 5th star is 5 talent points, and the 6th star is going to be more talent points. So this is how you might be able to get more talent points later on, as well as I think the max level is 60. So I'm not exactly sure again, because I'm not there yet. This is a very new game. But I would recommend that you have this information in mind, as well as I would not recommend that you use too many of these books on this commander, other than maybe to get him to level like 20 at first to unlock some of his skills, and specifically to unlock this skill. So if you have to get to level 30 to unlock this skill, obviously do that right away. But once this is unlocked and maxed, I would stop spending books on him, because he will get most of his experience by fighting mutants. So this is basically how you're going to be playing him for a long time and using him for a long time, he will be your main mutant killer for pretty much like the duration of the early game. And if you're not going to spend money in the game, he'll probably be your main mutant killer until they release a new one, because you are not going to get these guys maxed out until very late. I mean, you will never get this guy, and you will not get this guy maxed out until late into the game, because obviously you need a lot of these medals, which are a lot harder to acquire than the blue ones. So this is about it for my Scott guide. Of course, eventually you will be able to switch him to a full hitter or full skill, but this ability is only for White Mutants, so he will have the main value at being a White Mutant hunter and killer. So I do recommend that you focus on Scott for the very early game and to use your White Mutant killing. If you use this screen here, you will see that basically this PvE damage means against White Mutant. So I have 31% more damage against White Mutant in this setup right now, as well as experience bonus 30%. Now if I was to switch, see, 0%. The reason it's telling me these stats is because I am currently selecting a White Mutant when I'm attacking. So this is what it's telling me. So you can cycle through and go like who's better, who's not better. Obviously, he's the only one with White Mutant ability in my roster right now, so there's no other choice. But you know, if you were to like gather or something, it will tell you different stuff. Here it's basically marching speed and troop load, which obviously he's useless at. So that will be someone else, you know. So I recommend that you really focus Scott. You make sure you get this hill maxed out, and you make sure that you go into the hunt talent tree until you unlock this at least. But focusing specifically on this line here, these abilities right here, XP and stamina being the most special ones. Now, there is one small exception. So when you go in this talent tree called All Might, he is not excelling at anything, but he's balanced. If you go in this talent, you also have this ability that reduces the consumption by 3, so up to 9 when attacking White Mutants. Now, doesn't seem to have the experience one, but this can also be very good to use if you were having, you want to use 2 armies at once attacking 1 White Mutant. So like, for example, if I go and click this guy and I attack with this army, now if I attack with my second army, you'll see its AP cost 50. Now, if I had gotten him into the talent tree, it would be 41 as well. So you can send both armies against the same one, you get the rewards and everything, and it would save you more AP. So it's very good to focus on that as well. If you have All Might guys, he is one of them. He is one of them as well. So this is another way to save on AP. But again, none of them are as good as Scott. Scott is the main guy until you get the legendary guys for this ability specifically. So I would focus on him. Use him to do all your White Mutant content. If you're going to launch rallies on these big giant one that we saw earlier, this is also the guy you're going to use to launch rallies. He's not going to be the greatest at doing other player fighting, but he's going to be very, very good for you to do your PvE content, fighting the White Mutants. If there's special bosses and stuff that happens with event, which there is, you use him as well. He will be very good for that reason. So I really would say to focus him. Now, there's going to be a lot more content in this game. This is a very new game that just released recently on Android and is going to release on iOS shortly, hopefully. So there will be probably more heroes and more fighters coming on, as well as maybe some reworks that's going to happen. So we never know with this kind of game. For now, this is the best fighter that you want to focus on for your White Mutant. Now, if you want to stay up to date with this content, feel free to join the Discord for Age of Apes, as well as you can join our personal Discord on Not Casuals and ask us any questions, as well as feel free to drop a comment and a like and a subscribe to stay up to date if you have any question or anything like that. We also have a special invite code in the description below, and it can be also found in here if you want to invite your friends. You will see that you can invite people, so this is my code, and if you do use that code and log in every day, you will get some of these rewards, as well as you can see here there's quite a few rewards that you can get for invited player logging in as well as sharing. So I would recommend you use our code because they will give you a little bit of extra boost, as well as if you have questions and stuff, you can maybe contact us in game as well. So thank you for watching, guys, and we hope to see you next time on another content for Age of Apes, where we're going to go through some beginner friendly content for you.